Just so you know, we're live.
We are live. This is Justin Dunn, Justin Answer, and I am here with my good friend, my new friend, Jon Rostand. Did I say that correctly? Did I pronounce your name right? I should have asked you this off camera.
Yes, sir, you did. How's it going, Justin?
I'm terrific. Thank you. How are you?
Doing well, man. It's been for the holidays. How was your holiday?
Holiday was good. I was just being the cats this year, but just how I like it. So to let everybody know who I am speaking to and who you are being introduced to, this is somebody who, if you are struggling with money, if you are struggling with debt, if any of these things are factors in your life, perhaps you've just left the military. I certainly have friends who were in that situation several years ago. And this is a man you want to talk to because he can help you optimize, monetize your life and various projects that you have going for you. He's here to help. He has a big heart. He's not a martyr, so don't expect handouts here, but he is definitely here to give people a hand up, which is fantastic. So welcome, Jon. I am really grateful and honored for you to accord us our brief interview here. So we get started. Are you ready?
Yeah, we are. Let's go. I'm ready.
Fantastic. So tell me a little bit about your backstory. So what has brought you to this moment in time? What has brought you that my listeners might be interested in what I just said? So tell us a little bit about who you are and where you come from.
So yeah, I'm an islander. I'm from Haiti. I came in this country. I didn't really have a lot of family, nor did I have a lot of influences. But what I have was like skills, like music skills, and a lot of technical skills. And I remember at sometimes around like 2012, as I was about to go to college, there was like a dramatic shift into whatchamacallit, technology. My parents wanted me to be an architect, the usual architect school and stuff like that. But what I really wanted to do was like helping people, and being in art or any of this type of work, it's putting yourself in a way you either send a message or whatever. But I also wanted to be able to live nicely. So what had happened around that period was there's a dramatic shift in computing. I mean, so those program people were paying a lot of money, like Photoshop and all these things to do animation, were kind of diluted because kids over the internet in India can you can pay them less money in Fiverr. And that completely killed that market. When it comes to audio, like look at this mic. This is a high quality microphone I bought for like $200-300. Back then, if you're working at studio, it would have been like thousands of dollars. You know what I mean? Like, so the knowing this and knowing what I know in my art and stuff like that, with technology, I'm able to do have a really good lifestyle without even taking a lot of money out. I can build a business.
Yeah, and that is fantastic. And you're exactly right. I mean, I know that I've hired several times off of Fiverr and other freelancing type platforms, and fantastic people over in India and other countries. So it's not a knock against them because the work that I've always been very happy with it. But you're right, it has killed that whole, can I support and sustain myself and a family as just a little freelancer doing this here and there? And the answer is probably today, no. And it really is because of that and the technology explosion that we've had. I just showed you my particular microphone. This one is from Rode, which I think is fantastic. But to be honest with you, I record a lot of things on this iPhone that I have. It's an XS Max. It's not even the newest one. And the microphone seems to be so good on the iPhone itself that I get lots of compliments on my voice and various things like that. Now, maybe I do have a great voice, but I also think it has to do with the simple fact that the iPhone's got a great microphone on it by itself without any extra accoutrements. And of course, my little professional microphone, which I picked up for less than $200. So it may not be as fancy as yours, but it's exactly what you're saying. I definitely see that musical stuff back there, which is really cool. I I've played the piano since I was 4 years old. So music is a huge part of my life. For me, it's more classical music. And for you, I can see it's more the technology-based music, which I absolutely love and adore. So let's now talk about, now that we get where you're from and what you've done to get yourself to this point. So let me ask you a question. What is it that you would like to accomplish right now in your life?
Well, I've accomplished much. It's for me, it's just giving and helping others and finding a way. Um, because I'm somewhat new to this. It still baffles me how people are unmotivated. It's funny. People want Lambos, people want everything in the world, but they refuse to do the work. So my job is to find the diamond in the rough. And in my market, you'll see it a lot. People are mesmerized by shiny things. Ooh, I like this. Ooh, I like that. Over time, they'll spend like $50 here, $40 there. Mind you, I was part of it. Like I spent hundreds of thousands of dollars on just nothing on things, because again, I was doing the shiny object thing, and it come to a point in my life where I was so broke. I was just like, you know what, I'm gonna find a mentor. The last money I had saved up, and I was just like, here, just teach me. Just here, take it. I don't care. Just teach me. And what I really wanted to do is because knowing who I am and where I come from, if I can find people like that, it will make the world a better place. Trust me. And it's not to say people are bad people. Obviously, people are things for themselves. However, though, you will see this in society where people complain they don't have enough, like they don't get paid enough, they don't have these things. It's just complain. Um, but when you're not a performer, when you're not actually a producer, you realize like, oh, I'm the one who have to pay those taxes. I'm the one that has to build this thing that you're standing on. I'm the one that has to take those risks. And again, people don't know and they don't understand, but it's the small amount of these people that do the work that the rest of us can enjoy. And for me, that is something that is very honorable. And I study a lot of philosophy, and the Bible too hints at it. Is you do things because it's your job as a human being to do it, just like the birds do it, just like you know nature goes about things, and you just do it because that's your job.
Excellent. Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. I have particularly noticed that there is an enormous amount of competition out there in the job market for people, for jobs that are, 8 hours a day jobs. So if you're the kind of person that phones it in for 8 hours a day, can't wait for your breaks and go home and all of that, there's a tremendous amount of competition there. It is cutthroat. It's like a shark tank. It is scary. However, for 12, 16-hour days, for the people who go the extra mile, there's almost no competition at all. Nobody's willing to do that. Not nobody, but very few people. You're like a diamond miner, really. You're looking for that diamond in the rough. And I think we all are. I've also heard that the world is carried on the shoulders of very few men and women, about 10,000 or so.
That
So
is so
that's just,
true.
it is, so people who are really willing to go that extra mile are few and far between. And I find that to be quite an interesting sort of struggle to work with that willingness and that goodwill and that human nature. But we do have to work with it because let's face it, our friends are not doing this out of ill will. They may be doing it out of just, I don't know, lack of understanding, lack of faith. Maybe they've been beaten down by the man, who knows? But whatever it is, you and we got to work with it. And we can help people. I also study a tremendous amount of philosophy and religion and all of that stuff, so I can absolutely appreciate it. So so right now, let's look at present time right now. What is one thing that you're dealing with in your sort of external environment? What's a struggle that you're facing up to right now?
Um, the 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 because this is something that's very new, and the numbers show that are 70% of the market don't know what they're doing. And with earlier, remember, as I said, like people like the easy stuff. It blows my mind. Like people will pay attention to people that doesn't earn them money. Um, like they use, I call it the mass like psychosis, because me, when I get a marketer or like I'm building an entrepreneur, I let them know they're unique on their own way. They can get up and leave my platform whenever and go build their own thing, because even it's they're building their own brand on my platform. It's I let them use my label, my white label stuff, because I know it converts. And if they put their character and then they just use my label, that's fine. And then once they become a master, they can just get up and leave. Them saying that I have helped them, like, it's a lot more money. You wouldn't believe, you make a lot more money when people say that they've used your stuff and they get result. So what had happened was the people that are coming in or just like doing the lazy stuff. If you're not a marketer, I'm just gonna explain it real quick. There's high tickets, which is like value items, and then there's low tickets. So people are selling across the board low tickets all the time. So you get a bad reputation as a marketer. When people like you, it's like, oh man, here comes another one. But with this thing happening, and then this being in this situation, it's kind of hard for people to trust you. But at the end of the day, if you do your job well, even though it's hard, even though the competition is not there, it is what's call it is very warning, because it's not something that everybody can or should or will be doing. So for me, this is the struggle that I find right now, because me myself, again, I'm not new. I've been in the game for 3 years. However, though, I don't have that that name where they can just be like, oh, you're Jon Ross. Oh yeah, we know him. He's certified. I still have to like fight for my name.
Right. Yeah. And I think a lot of us are in a similar boat where we are confident in our skills. We guarantee our results. We know exactly what we're doing, but there's, a few shinier people out there that may have a few extra years on top of us of experience or track record, or simply notoriety. I can tell you that I know people out there, mentors and gurus, who have been around for decades. And I can also tell you, I'm thinking of two. I won't name them because, unless it's privately off the record, but because I don't want to defame anybody. But there's two of them that I'm thinking about right now that have ripped me off. I remember about 15, 20 years ago, rip off artists and people that I have, this much respect for. I respect their affluence, their wealth, their Lambos and jets that they've been able to accumulate over the years, but they've done it by ripping a lot of people off or deceiving people. So even if those people think, oh no, I love him, they have not achieved the promised and represented result. The one
Yeah,
guy
that's
promised me real estate, blah, 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 blah. I tried everything of his, all his methods and techniques, and got absolutely nowhere. Another guy promised us all the other stuff on, marketing and all that. Again, his garbage doesn't work. The people that stuff that actually does work, I also know who they are. And those are the people that I endorse and that I recommend today, because I adore them, not necessarily because, I love them, but I adore them because their stuff works. Their stuff is genuine. Their stuff is real and produces results for anyone that comes to them. 100% of the time, no, nobody is omnipotent, but I'm not. But it consistently produces result a grand majority of the time. And I absolutely love that. And so one thing that I struggle with, though, internally is a little bit, I've been burned. I've been burned by some of these people. And then I see some of these people succeeding and I'm like, you burned me. Oh, so how about you? What is something internally? So you've shared with me some of the external things, and I get it, because I have the same issue. But how about internally? What about for you? Is there anything that you're dealing with inside?
Um, not really. Like I would say lack of discipline. Like I wish like I'm a go getter, but like I'm a go getter like because as an artist we do this thing whenever we feel like only like a year and a half ago I've started to become that person because like when you DJ you go out and party with your friend, things happen, you were drunk, you fight, and being a DJ, like it used to bring like not the right girl home. Like it doesn't, your friends will prop you for doing stupid things like, oh yeah man, oh my god, you got that girl, but the reality is like you have to become a person that is going to be not only honest but be honest with yourself. And then for me this is where it's a little bit shaky now because what happens is that like these people, they're your friends, they love you because you guys are on the same level. The minute you start shooting up, they will drag you down. So
Mm.
even when you step away, they're like, oh, like, and and it's only thank God for philosophy. You must realize that like these people really, even girlfriend or stuff like that. It's like these people care for you when they're not the center of attention. Now your business become a center of attention. They'll try to discomfort you that way you do not succeed. But again, it's I'm in that limbo phase where I'm sorry, Creole and French are my first language, so sorry sometimes if I don't
No problem
enunciate
at
words
all.
properly. Um, where like I know, like now I know, like if I go to club, one drink, because my business is important and I need to wake up. I cannot slump over, Um, but it's like you want to be lazy. It's fun being lazy, but you got this thing where you just gotta go hard every day. And I love what I do. I really do. I wake up, I got my schedule, I write my emails, and I'm a free man. I don't have to go answer to a boss. I don't have to those days are over for me, man. Like I'm still dealing like I've let my life go, but I'm still dealing with like who I'm becoming because it seemed progress. It's not sustain. It's not something you just you get to a level and you sustain. It grows and keeps growing, and you gotta find a way to adapt to it. Like the same people that I used to work at the club, like hanging out, getting paid $50 a night, is different jerks that you're gonna deal with when you're making $1,000 a night.
Yeah, totally. And it's funny you mentioned that because I deal and have talked about this recently with friends as well, is that the consideration is really, if you think about it, your friends, your family, they want you to do well, but they don't want you to do that well because in deep inside that they're afraid that you're going to leave them behind or that you'll forget them or outgrow them. And the truth is maybe you will, but maybe you won't. I'm certainly not the kind of guy to abandon people, but if they feel like that, I absolutely get what you're saying because I'm also, ironically dealing with it right now. One thing that I found, so because I feel the same way, and one thing that I found recently, actually, in the last, few months is remember I mentioned there's a few people that I endorse and recommend now because they're genuine, they've been around forever, and their stuff just works. Is actually a solution to what we're talking about right now. So I'll share it in the comments, a link in the comments with everybody. I'll share it with you as well. And so it is developed by a gentleman named Mark Joyner, and he is a legend. He is actually one of the mentors that, and you can Google it because there's videos, proof of this, that Russell Brunson, he's one of Russell's mentors, not the other way around, mind you. This guy predates him. He basically invented the ebook and created a lot of stuff on the internet as a pioneer when it was first getting off the ground. What an amazing individual, but he transcends this vacuous and empty marketing. He's not just a marketer, he's a philosopher and a lot of other things. And so he created a solution to all of these things that we're talking about right now. First and foremost, procrastination, because I mean, I deal with it too. And so I will share it with you, and I will share it in the comments, a link to what Mark Joyner's created so people can try it. No commitments, no obligations, no cost to it whatsoever. Obviously, the catch is simple. If you want the full parade functionality, you're going to have to pay. If you just want the simple solution to some procrastination and basic level stuff, it's free. No problem. So it's really, really just that simple and just that easy and just that focused. So I'll share it with you and I'll share it with everybody else again in a link in the comments, and then I'll just message you privately about it, because you may find that it is exactly the thing that you need right now to make all the difference for what you're dealing with, because I'm dealing with it right now too, rather successfully thanks to this tool. Without this, I think I'd still be in that mode of not quite sure what to do about this, motivation and procrastination. So back to you. So let's talk about some of this stuff that you mentioned recently. So you obviously have music as a big part of your life, and another transition or perhaps part of your journey is making money and helping other people, perhaps mentoring and coaching them in business and marketing and online stuff. So what kind of led you to that? What problem led you to this fork in the road or this transition?
We don't have enough time. I'm kidding. No, like, so as I was going to, I'm just going to give you like a really fast version of it.
Yeah.
As I was going to college and as I start seeing the economy, because again, microphones are coming out. You could learn Photoshop on YouTube at that time. And I'm talking, and computers from 32-bit to 64-bit. I'm going to keep all the techno babble out, but just understand this, my market got diluted. So I remember working at Guitar Center. One of the guitar guys, his wife was a lawyer, and he was much older. He was 70 something. I don't think 70, but he has had like a white beard. He was one of the guitar guys.
Santa
And
Claus?
yeah, I name him like that. I was like, dude, you're like the grandpa. You're like Santa Claus. You're always teaching. But for me, because I'm always curious, I was asking him. And then I remember I got my foot to the door at Bristol Studio, and which is a recording company. And I got in there was not because of my college experience. I got in there because of my music. I sent my sample. I told them what I do. I told them I play shows. Mind you, I'm in front of this studio is in front of a college. Kids are paying $65,000 per year average. And here I am staring at this college, that Berkeley College, which is one of the top 10 American music school.
I
All
know.
these kids are paying all this money, and here I am inside the door, and I didn't pay a penny. Moving forward, ego got in. I didn't understand how business worked. It was just, I want to get paid now. Why does the artist get advanced and me as a producer, I'm getting paid 6 months? Like, no, I want to get paid now. And that attitude got me fired, bro.
Oh, right. I see.
So I remember just like trying to figure out life. Like I was so broke because I'd accumulate all, because you think you're making a lot of money. You're like, yeah, man, this money's gonna last forever. Woo, you get I would park in front, like get a ticket, don't care. I'll be buying $6-10 matcha tea, and life will hate you, man. And you either stay underground or you figure something out. So as I'm figuring how am I gonna market my music, um, and then all this thing just kept pouring in, and then eventually I solved it. And it's just music. Here's how cool it is. I'm getting paid for music that I put online streaming. I don't focus on my music or try to build myself as a music character now. But back then, you needed to be at the mercy of a record label to get a distributed property with like a cassette or or CD. You have YouTube now. You have Facebook, bro. You can put stuff on social media or like SoundCloud, and just like just you will reach more people online than you will reach people physically with a cassette. So every 10 people who listen to your song, you get 10 cents. You just have to do the math. Okay, this is the amount of money I want. This is the amount of plays I need to get. That's it.
Very interesting. Sounds like we've got mindset, music, and marketing. Ooh.
Yep.
Sounds cool. So what is how would you, so give it to me in a
Sorry.
pithy way, short. What is the realization that you had? You've taken us now on a journey. We know what you struggled. You got fired with the music and wanting a little bit too much too soon, which is funny because I was almost a lawyer and I did this prep class called Test Masters. And I remember the founder of the company, brilliant company, by the way, I did really well on the exam, but he drove a Ferrari and he used to always park it right on at USC in California. He used to park it like on the sidewalk. And by the time the course he ran was done, he'd have like 7 or 8 tickets on there, thousands
like,
of
you got
dollars of
money.
tickets. And we asked him once, this is literally just cost you like, thousands of dollars in tickets. And he's like, why did you do that? He's like, dude, the parking lot's not secure. This way I know the meter maid's watching my car. He could afford it. I hope
I'll
he still
blame
can.
him.
I don't remember his name, but I remember the company's name. So
That's funny.
yeah, it is cool. I mean, it's cool, kind of, I guess. But anyway, so what is the realization that you had? You got on this journey, you got fired, you realized you just told us about music and marketing and your mindset. So what is the realization that you had?
So
that other people can benefit from this right now.
Yeah, the realization, don't think that I'm just a musician. Anything can be marketed. Like, out of all the skills in the world, there's one skill that if you have it, you and your family will eat forever. Like, I don't know if you're religious or anything. Like, in evolution, the guy who can take an apple and give it to another guy and trade, this person will survive. Like, so what I'm trying to say is that if you're just an artist and this is all your skill set is, it's gonna be tough for you, man. It really is. So if you can serve society, you can show something and then you can deliver it to people. Again, this is what will bring you wealth and health and all that stuff. Because this is the position where I am, where I realize the more I help people, the more people trust me, the more people like me, and the more money I make. Because again, I wake up days with money just dropping in my bank account and I don't really have to do much. And it's possible because of the new technology that we have. It's a lot of people won't get it. It's funny. When I started, I couldn't make money because I thought I was connecting with college kids. Kids don't get it. Their parents are paying for everything. The government's paying, so they're in that phase. Like, they don't know yet. Most of my clients are older individual between 35 or 40 that have went through some situation that realized, like, oh, I have to do something to better my life. So, but again, going back to the things that I said about doing your job and philosophy is just, you can pull the universe. Like, you cannot control things. Obviously, you can't control nature, but you can poke like substance or essence of things in order to build something greater, because you may not realize it, but whatever action you're taking today will result whatever will happen 6 or years down the line from now. So I learned from those days I was at the studio. Like, it's again, people say it's a blessing in disguise. I would probably still there making good money, but me being fired, like, put me in a realization, like, yo, I need to become a better person. I need to help society. And it's not just having skills and ego. Like, when you're there for people, you do things, like, somewhere, somehow the universe will reward you. Like, I don't know when or how did it happen. It was just like, you did the work, here's your reward.
Excellent. I mean, every religion talks about that to a certain extent, or even karma. That sounds like it. So it just captures a little bit of everything. So John, what's the plan?
Hey, the plan is just, hey, I'm here to support anybody. Just Jon Rostand, JONROSTAND. You can always find me. You can find me on YouTube, Elite Affiliate Millionaire. I'm building this channel, and I'm here to support too, Jeremy. I'm sorry. I hope I'm not getting a call. I'm here to support anybody. I have a vision to like. Again, this is a new breed of human beings that are coming out, and I'm just there to support him. And it's not just focused on the music. You can literally market anything that you want as long as you have the skills and you understand what you're doing online. And you have the power to change the world to be a better place. Like I really mean that. Like I would never thought like I'd be writing music, chilling at home, and have my own freedom. Like like and 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 that's not to say if you can go do things outside. Like I still go and do like physical things because I can afford it. What I'm saying is that like that endless cycle of like I used to work at a pharmacy, man. They play, CVS, Walgreens, they play that music 24/7, blah blah blah. Like why can't people just order stuff online? Like why? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
But
I do know what you're saying. So what conflicts are you running into on this journey? Because I'll tell you what conflicts I run into on my journey is I find that there are quite a few false prophets out there. There are quite a few people who, if you listen to them, you will not succeed. You will spend money and you will get taken advantage of. And they may actually even steal some of your ideas. So that to me is a huge conflict because I hate having my ideas stolen, number one, but I also feel the need to put myself out there to prevent that individual from going and buying from this other person who might actually be taking advantage of them.
all right,
So that's me. But how
let me
about you?
just answer those two questions for you.
Mm.
Um, there was gonna be like competition, and competition is good, but never go in that mentality that like, okay, this person is gonna take that person. Here's why I say this. If you ever read the book, The Science of Getting Rich, it's telling you like if you want something, if you need something, everything can be created. If you look like just not planet Earth, if you look like from a universal perspective, I love what Elon Musk is doing. Like there are way more oil on asteroids and like Jupiter's moon or whatever in water, like clean, pure water. If we all get together and like build to get things together, we'll get there faster. We'll start digging like oil. But again, that is not to say don't be naive thinking there aren't bad people out there. There are bad people, and some of them they're not even just bad. It's just their level of thinking is so low that they feel that they're threatened by you. I've seen it happen to me all the time. Now, how do you not get fooled by mentors that are saying that they're gurus or whatever? Is a lot of people do the shiny object things. Like there's this guy, I'm not gonna say his name, but he's very flashy, and people are just here's what I'm trying to say. People love seeing you in the car. People love seeing you flashy. People love that. That's why when Nicki Minaj or any of those rappers drop an album, 13 million views within a week. But people like us will do like an interview, 1,300 views, like 1,000 views here and there. But that's okay. That's what what I said way. People are lazy. They're lazy thinkers. They want everything to be given to them. So when they see someone in a flashy car, when they see someone, I almost said his name, in front of a Lamborghini for $57, you can have all of this. Shut. You know it's impossible.
Some of them
If you
even
don't
rent
know,
the Lambo for a day just to do the
I know
photo shoot.
there are marketers that've done this. Like they barely crashed a business and then they went out and bought a Lamborghini and then they make that money back. Like,
Yeah,
but
and I get it. I get it. And I personally will be honest, I do not own a Lamborghini or a Ferrari. I do like them, but and it's just not an ambition I have. I like things like, watches, got some paintings and some crystal and antiques and stuff like that. Those tend to be a lot less flashy. And I would have to be very unclassy and tell people, "Hey, do you see this glass here? Do you know how much that costs?" And I'm not going to do that. So I got a painting in my living room that costs as much as a car, but nobody knows that. And burglars, if they came in, they'd think that ugly thing, they're not even going to buy it. But I like it. It's an heirloom. It's a family heirloom. So the thing is I get what you're saying, because that whole flashy thing almost at times seems to be kind of, do I need to do that to attract more
bro,
people?
can I say this? Some
Yeah, of
days
course.
I really want to like be lazy. I'm like, man,
Mm,
like what's it's called is like for those who doesn't understand, whenever you get that $57 thing, there's gonna be an upsell. It's called an OTO.
mm.
And this is where I see so many people fail. And what baffles me is people really love this. They'll love that person. They'll you don't know what you it's like. But again, the market is getting smarter because this is brand new. This is like 7 years old. So all those people that are flashing in their cars and stuff like that, it's gonna switch around. Well, I've seen it being switched around because people are starting to understand, and people talk a lot over the internet, is that like one thing my mentor told me was like, when you start making money, don't start flashing because you need to think about like the future, because you're not helping people well when they see the car. Because what happens, not only you're attracting the wrong crowd, over time and over the years, those people will resent you. So those people that you have, tell them that whatever you're showing them is way more important than a Lamborghini or stuff. But I'm still pushing for the Lambo, bro. I'm just saying.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, I mean one. I mean, I've got a little mini goal of, I don't like Lamborghinis, although I appreciate them. It's most like a Rolls Royce is my style, but it's just So of course, one day I plan to own one of those, and I'm heading in that direction. But I'm not actually sure that once I do have one, that I'll be taking lots of photos with it all the time to throw it in people's faces. I don't know that I'll do. I don't know that I won't. But all I'm saying is that I don't plan on doing that. I plan on owning it for my own pleasure, enjoyment, and satisfaction. But it's not my number one goal either, because I have goals that are more, offline, that are more spiritual, that are more about my own development, health, well-being, longevity, and things like that, and much less about the material world. But that's just me.
But
So,
Justin, you're in
mm,
America. Do you know that you can, once you make something your image, you can tax deduct that. So I'm not gonna say I'm flashing it, but if you
uh,
can prove it part of your image, you can. So instead of paying at 1 million, you'll pay like 700,000.
Oh, right. Okay. I don't think you could do that here in the United Kingdom where I reside, although I am American citizen, so maybe I should move back just for that advantage. Okay, I
I
got
hear
two more
you.
questions for you. So, you have come obviously a long way, and you are, like me, still on a journey, which is fantastic, but you are definitely, obviously, visibly headed in the right direction, or the direct, which just simply means the direction that you've chosen. That's what I mean by right direction. You've made a choice and you're headed in that direction. So that's awesome. So, but let's take stock now. Let's look at what results have you achieved um, already.
Well, most of my students, they're early on their journey. Because I've been doing coaching for 2 years, but only recently, like, so the ones that I've been working like last year, they're getting results. So um and when people get results, they talk about you, so that puts you in a position where you still do the work, you still have to do the emails and stuff like that, but it softened things up for you. So
Yeah, which makes perfect sense, and I'm glad you celebrated that. I can completely understand. I've got my own, people who I've helped, and within hours of some tips that we gave them, they ended up with 3 brand new clients, and a week later, 5 on top of that, and going from 0, which I find very interesting because a lot of I almost forgot to say this. A lot of these people online, they do a lot of qualifying of their prospects, meaning they want you to have a business that's already making 6 figures or already making 1 million or more already. And I can appreciate that they will scale you to the next level. I'm not questioning their ability to do that. But the folks that I've helped have come from 0, and I think that there's something also to be said. And it's not as lucrative, obviously, because they have a lot less money in the cash in the bank to invest. But I love working with people from that because I think that that is, I don't know. To me, that's a result that means something when I can help somebody go from no clients and customers to 3 within hours, and then 5 on top of that. That's 8 total within a week. And then if they just continue, they can scale from there. Some others I had were, took another bit of advice I gave them, and, not 2 weeks later, they were at capacity, meaning they can take no more new customers for their business, and they can scale if they choose. But at that point in time, they have no room for anybody else. And I think that's amazing for a young small business to be able to do that. I'm quite passionate about that kind of transformation because it makes me feel good. It makes me feel competent. It makes me feel like I've done something for someone else. So how about you? So getting these results for people, what's that mean to you? What does that mean for you, Jon? Not for them. We get that they're doing well, but what does that mean for you?
again, it goes back to the same philosophy, like the morality, the honor. Um, things do have meanings. Like I know, like you can say like your meaning is what you choose in your life. Like I'm sure you said you play piano, right?
Mhm.
Have you ever played in front of a crowd and then as soon as you're done, you get those applause?
Of
Like
course.
that feeling, man, like it's I know you feel like that feeling, dude. It's just like all that preparation, all that journey, all like, and even when you're doing you're mixing or you're doing your presentation, as soon as it's done, you get your reward. No amount of money can replace that. I mean, money's nice, but the feeling, the proudness that you get, that your friends can point at you like, yo, that's my friend, like when people can do that, it feels nice, man. It really does. And it gives you purpose in life. It makes you feel like, man, I've achieved something,
I
that that
do.
that for me, it's what it
That
does.
That's good. That's very, very, very enriching. So that's all my questions that I have for you. I think that we've gotten a lot of value. So I thank you very much for some of the wisdom that you've shared with us today. You're not an old man, so I don't say wisdom in the sense that, like the white beard you talked about at the Guitar Center. But you definitely are wise beyond your years. And I think if people take to heart some of the things that we've talked about just today, it could make them go in a positive direction. If they engage with you because they need to, that will take it into an even better level. And so I wanted to end by asking you if there is anything else you would care to say or ask me or tell people before we end our interview today.
Oh, well, Justin, man, I wanted to say thank you for the interview. I greatly appreciate it. Again, my third interview in, and I'm not looking for a job.
Yes,
Um,
you said that to me in a message.
yeah. Um, but yeah, the if you feel that you're empty, man, if you feel that, like, or woman, if you feel like that you want purpose, it's all about doing stuff, getting things done. Like the sooner you realize that, the one thing, you'll never have not enough resources. If you go and ask, you will receive. And number two, by doing things like, that's how you succeed in life, by helping others. That's all business mean. Be in the service of others. If you can do that, no matter what skill set, if it's a book you love, make videos on books and post your books on Amazon. Like once there's so much thing you can do to earn purpose in life that this is all I can give to people. Just give till you can't give no more. And trust me, in the end of the day, the universe will reward you for that.
Amen to that. And I don't say that religiously. I say that just amen. That makes absolute perfect sense. So I will end by saying a couple things. Number one, I will say that, people have nicknamed me just in time or just in answer. And the reason is because we got answers, but we also have impeccable timing. So what great timing to have you come in, share this with us. Of course, it's available in perpetuity, but now that 2019 is finished and 2020 is about to commence, this is exactly the right time for people to know what it is that you've shared and to engage with you, to engage with me, and to take their lives to a better place. So, on that note, you mentioned Creole and French. I am an American citizen. I'm a UK citizen where I live right now, but I was born a French citizen. Alors, je ne sais
Tête
pas
de
si...
merde. Tu parles
Voilà,
français, mec?
on papote un tout petit peu en
Oh
français.
putain,
On aurait pu faire tout en français.
ouais, je pourrais faire ça en français si tu veux dire ça avant, mais mec, je savais
I
pas.
purposely didn't do that, but maybe we'll do interview part deux, and we will do it
Ouais.
entirely in French. And actually, that's not a bad idea if you think about it, John, because if you think about it, most of the listeners obviously will be in English, and most people that I know who are living in France, all my friends and family there, they do speak and understand English well. But that said, we may want to do part two, and do it in French, which I think would be kind of fun and kind of cool.
Yeah,
So
I'm ready. I'm down for it,
so
man.
just think about it, but we'll do that on the other side of 2020. So I
Of
hope you
course.
had a great Christmas, John. I hope you guys had a great Christmas, and I hope you have an even better new year. And to you as well, Mr. Rostand. Thank you very much. My love to you. As my mentor says, I will demonstrate it through my actions.